channel. So I did finish reading Awad, and that book is really just a trippy book. Super strange. I said it might go, I was like thinking it was a 4-star book right in the middle, and then it became a 3-star book again because it was just, the enjoyment. It's written really well in terms of the weirdness and being in the mind space of someone who's just losing it. Okay, really good at depicting that. But okay, there's this sense of grief that I think Death Valley by Melissa Broder did better. But I also did not like that book as much as I did Milk Fed. So there is something about me and characters that are experiencing these grief, like someone died and they're experiencing grief, and then they have these somewhat hallucinations, or like I said, psychotic breaks. Like, it doesn't make good content, or I don't enjoy it for some reason. Now I am currently reading on my Kindle Haunted by Palahniuk, and this was a book that I also DNF around October or November, and it's a bunch of short stories that are really gruesome, very disturbing, and I just stopped reading because I was losing interest in the actual characters, because the premise of the story is there's a bunch of people who join this writing retreat and they share stories. Yeah, the person who got them to go there had like sinister thoughts, so they ran out of food, they're locked in and all that. And that's the part where I lost interest, because like I don't care for them. Like, I guess I do, but more on their stories, their individual stories, rather than them being all together and cannibalizing each other. But I am at 82%. The stories, a lot of them I really like. Right now I think this book would be like a 3.5 stars. It's not 4 stars, like 3.5, so 3. And I don't like the short stories that have a bit of a more despondent, like hopeless, futile vibe to them. Like, I like it more if it gives me like a horrific ending, rather than if it's just like leaving me with this empty feeling. I guess that's worse. Like, it's so much worse if I feel empty after reading a short story than if I feel like actually horrified. Like, I don't know how to explain that, but yeah, it's kind of like, be careful with reading the short stories in there, because they can get really disturbing. Like, even just the first story wherein the boy was swimming in the pool and he has this penchant for masturbating on the pool. Okay, and he's worried. His primary concern was if he spilled his sperm in the pool, is what if it goes inside his sister, or worse, his mother when they're swimming. So that's like his main concern. Like, but for me, I'm like thinking, okay, the pool is like with chlorine, right? So if you disgustingly released your stuff in there, then it will probably just die, right? But then that's not exactly what happened to him, okay? Let me give you a taste of the kind of stories in this book. He went, okay, so there's this part of the pool where there's this like strong suction thing, okay? And he had this idea that he would put his butthole on there. She doesn't have an idea what I'm saying. Okay, and then, dude, I forgot that I never use this anymore, but let me try to use it. Yes, And then when he was on the pool, right, he put his butthole in front of that suction thing, and then later on he felt something weird like coming out of him. And he thought it was like poop or something, but then it was his innards, like his colon and all that. Horrific. And that's why his name was Saint Gutfrey, because he doesn't. Oh, Saint Gutless. Gutless? Gut free. Yeah, I think it's gut free. Okay, so anyway, that's like the very first story that you read, I believe, first or second story, and then like a lot of other stuff.
2 days later.
Okay, so I did finish Haunted by Chuck Palahniuk, and this book, overall enjoyment, 2 stars. But if I'm going to be honest with the short stories that I enjoyed, it's like a 3.5 to 4 stars. But the overall story with the other, like the characters trying to figure out like how to survive and how they're gonna run off with their story, like what happened. So at the end, they all decided that this horrible thing that has happened to them, they are going to create a story out of that, and they will be publishing a book about it, and then they're going to split the royalties to whoever survives the starvation essentially that was going on. Yeah. Not interested in that part of the story, the overall story. So sadly, I was actually just reading the individual stories, though towards the end it was much more cohesive, I guess. Like somewhat the mini stories converged and, related to the bigger picture as to why they were all there in the first place. Okay, but anyway, I feel like I've read a book like that before, but it has been executed better.
10 seconds later.
The current book that I'm reading is Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. And this book, I have DNF'd around 25% last year, I guess, because just wasn't in the mood for romance, but now I am. I feel like I want to pick this up, so I picked it up. Currently on 44%. The back and forth, the banter is really good, as with any Abby Jimenez book. But I think we are diving into the territory of, will they do long distance relationship or not? And I think this is the first time that Abby Jimenez, well, based on all of the books that I've read from her, which I think I've read every single book that she has written, except for the very first one, which I can't even remember the name. Yeah, so I think this is the first time that she is writing a story about a long distance relationship, and we are currently 44% through already in the book. So that's page 148 right here, as you can see. Maybe, probably not. Anyway, um there the family stuff going on, like as always with Abby Jimenez books. It's not always just just the romance. Her characters have always have some kind of trauma or something that they're dealing with, that they're trying to overcome. um and in this case, the boy, the male main character, he is was abused by his parents emotionally, mainly emotionally, and so he has cut ties with them. And now our female main character, her main problem at the moment is that her mother is suffering from dementia, which hits close to home because my grandmother has dementia, and it's just horrible when you see this person who you love and they can't even remember who you are. Like, you would think that this person would never ever forget you, or lose memory of you. Like, my grandma remembers my children, mostly Gab Gab, but she couldn't remember who I was, and I had to explain, like, I'm their mom. These kids that you're talking to, I mean, that you're remembering right now, they're my kids. I'm their mom. Oh yeah, and my mom is your daughter. Like, that kind of situation is. And then our female main character, she's experiencing this with her mother, and her mother is like, I don't know, 40s, 50s, super young. And I think it has to, like, she speculates that it's because her mother used to hit her head a lot. What sport was she doing? Like, she was doing some kind of like sport, not cheerleading. I don't know why that is. It has to do with jumping a lot. Yeah, so those are their issues. So he's living in this state. He's a vet, so he has his practice there in Minnesota. And our female main character, let me give them their names, okay? Samantha and Xavier. Okay, so Xavier is in Minnesota, Samantha is in California because she's living with her mother. Hello, Blob. Yeah. So that's where I'm currently at. I'll be updating again when I'm done, I guess.
Early the next morning.
Hello. Yes. So guess what? I am 66% through Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez, and I just read through like 30% of this book last night. I just couldn't stop reading because I am getting very invested in their relationship. There's just parts of the Samantha's life. I mean, her mindset of not wanting to do long distance really was starting to piss me off, because if you love this person and it's you're never gonna get closure if you're not gonna give it a try. Like, we learned that it's better to answer the question instead of asking it your whole life, right? Ruin the friendship, Taylor Swift. So this girl Samantha is not getting it. Xavier is so sweet. Like, I am swooning over how much he is in love with her, the things that he's doing for her, because every, like, okay, here's the thing. When I was reading this book and then they were saying goodbye because she has to move to California, I thought that the entire book would be Xavier and Samantha contacting each other via text message, video calls, and that's the only thing that I'm going to ever see in this book. And then I'm going to see their individual lives play out while the other person is halfway across the country. But I was pleasantly surprised that there are time jumps on this so-called long distance relationship. Oh, also, by the way, I hate how Samantha is playing dumb. That, yeah, is she playing dumb? Is she just clueless? Like, obviously this man wants to be with you because he flew X amount of hours to be with. That just really pisses me off when a female main character is acting dumb and pretending to be strong. Like, I don't know. Okay, anyway, yeah, like I said, where was I going with that? Okay, I was pleasantly surprised that there are time jumps wherein I don't really get to see the boring stuff. Like, it jumps to 4 weeks or 8 weeks and to their next meeting. So that's pretty good. I don't know why this is getting a lot of hate, because as always, it's so funny. I mean, hate. Maybe because they're getting pissed at Samantha. I don't know. Oh, okay. I remember one booktuber saying that there is not really a third act breakup. Or, I don't know. Because they did call themselves boyfriend and girlfriend. Or maybe this doesn't have a breakup at all. Maybe they just end up having like this windfall of money, and he moves closer to her and he doesn't have to give up his practice and he just opens a new one. Like, they were talking about like what they would do with $1 million, and that's what they would do.
The next day.
Good morning. Yeah, so I did finish Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez last night. Absolutely loved it. Gave it 4 stars. And the reason why it's not, well, 4.5. And the reason why it's not a complete 5 star is because, like I said, I was getting so pissed at the mindset of this woman who can't fully give it 100%, or like she's very like such a negative Nancy about everything. But Xavier, wow, he really came through. He was everything. Okay. I think Abby Jimenez writes the men really well. Like you can tell that these men were written by by a woman. And sometimes I think like could this be a reality? Like someone uprooting their lives? Someone uprooting their entire life to be with you. But I guess I understand why he's doing that as well, because he has found family with Samantha, which he has never had family in his life. And his parents called him, well, specifically his mom, and she's still the same person. And he realized that, okay, I get it now. There is really no third act breakup. And I love it. Okay, I feel like maybe this whole segment was the third act breakup. Well, typically it's like they get together and then they break up and then they get back together. But this one, they were together the whole time. But just the trials and tribulations that they had to endure. I mean, I like that I didn't feel the distance in terms of maybe the pacing going off. Like, I was scared for that to happen, like them focusing on their individual lives. I mean, the family stuff is really good too. Really great balance. There's just some part of me, I don't know, maybe it will change. My rating perhaps will change, but right now it's a 4 star on Goodread. I may change it into 5 stars someday. I don't know. It depends on how I look at this book and how I remember it in the future. But of course, I did write the quotes in this small quote notebook that I have, like I said. And listen to this. Samantha's like, I can't have you killing yourself for this relationship. I already feel guilty that I'm not strong enough to leave you for your own good. Like, okay, I guess admittedly, she eventually has fallen in love with him and she wants to be selfish, but at the same time, Xavier is working extra hours to, visit her more, and it's killing him obviously because he has a lot of bills, and then on top of that you have to pay like plane tickets every time. But dude, oh, and there's this one thing that happened at the end where I realized that, hey, okay, I think I can finally understand where Sam is coming from, that their relationship is not a walk in the park. That was kind of like a wake up call for me when things didn't happen as expected in terms of the logistics of the relationship. That really got me. That really got me. Okay, so anyway, I'm done with the book. Hooray!
Later.
Okay, so I'm currently reading Sign Here by Claudia Lux. And I DNF'd this book last year because it was actually pretty good, but then another book caught my attention. So I was probably like mood reading. And I continued at, okay, 44%. I think I started like 42%. Like that's where I was at. And I actually still remember the premise of this entire book. Okay, basically, there is this place. Oh, well, it's called hell. And the people here are working double time to get earthlings, like living people, to sign the contract, hence the title Sign Here, so that they would trade their soul for whatever they needed on earth. So, for instance, someone is like sick, like their daughter's sick or something, right? They can, they will be reached out. I mean, hell will reach out. Okay, the workers of hell will reach out to this person and say, hey, we can solve your problem with your daughter having cancer, aka we can remove the cancer. Okay, but you would have to work for hell. Like, you have to give your soul to us in hell. And then, of course, that's eternal damnation. I mean, well, the main character said eternal agitation because hell is like a new form of, like, just imagine having to wait for services at a government office. is what I'm trying to say. So anyway, is that. Um, and so the story goes from like what's happening in hell, okay, and what's happening in the real life. So we're following this Harrison family, and we're following Peyton Trip. Peyton, no, Peyote, whatever that name is. It's the first time I've heard that name. Peyote. Okay, so this Peyote guy, okay, his goal is to get a complete set. And what a complete set means is if you get five members of a family, it doesn't have to be the nuclear family. It could be like a grandpa, then the father, then the son of the father, and the son of the son. Like that kind of, or it could be like brother, sister. It doesn't have to be generations. Like as long as it's in within the family. Okay? If you get five people to sign up and give their soul, you can go back to Earth. You essentially get a second chance at life. So if you get like five people to sign up, you can go back to Earth and redo whatever you want to redo. Like you can do whatever you want. Like go back in time, do something instead of this one, make this choice instead of that one, like that kind of thing. And basically, that is what's going to happen in the story because Peyote is targeting the Harrison family. And he already has four of the Harrison family. Okay? So he only needs one more person to sign up and then he can go back and have another chance at life. But things are just not what it seems. And there are also some side stories, but I'm not really focusing much on that. Oh, darling, what do you want to say?
I
Tell me, huh?
yeah, and this brain also. Cause it's not sharing me. Cause it's not playing. Cause it's not sharing me.
Oh, she's not sharing with you. Use your ABC kid. Yeah, we are all currently addicted to this game. Oh, then you charge it. Give it to me. It's called Nut Sort, this game, wherein you like sort the nuts. So, no, babe. This is my game. Use your account. Also, you're gonna get slop on my phone because of your sloppy hands. Okay, anyway, so that's where I'm at with sign here. So far, so good. Let's see where this goes. Uh, the tension in the Harrison family as well because there is like the Harrison family, they're having their summer vacation, right? And then Mickey, the family daughter, she brought her friend along, Ruth. And Ruth is sort of stirring things up with the family's past and, almost like getting the brother of our main, well, sort of main character. Yeah, the family brother, Sean, is sort of attracted to Ruth. So there's that factor as well. Yeah, so that's for this update.
One day later.
Hello, so I finished Sign Here by Claudia Lux, and I have beef with this book. Okay, I'm giving it 2.5 stars because I overall enjoyed it, loved that element of somewhat like a redo slash time loop, is it? Or, some kind of that sci fi element to it. I mean, of course, there's also already the fantastical part of it. But yeah, especially that. But what I did not like is that there are three storylines going on, and I do not care for the third storyline. Like it would be so much would have been so much better if there was only like the Harrison part of the story and the Hell part of the story. Pey- Peyote's part, not Cal. Like I don't care about Cal. But apparently Cal had to be there because of like the time in history. Like it's too very convoluted, very complicated to even talk about. Yeah, overall enjoyment is almost there, but not exactly.
Epilogue.
I guess I'm done with trying to catch up on the books that I have soft DNF last year, especially that they are Kindle reads, so they're not really that. I mean, I picked them up because I was interested in them, you know. Um, and you know, what do you do with books that you are interested in reading, but then you want to know what's going to happen next or how the story ends, but also when you're reading it, it's like, just give me the parts that I want. That was the entire feeling for, well, would I say most of these books? Rouge, not so much. There's something missing. That's a 2-star book. Haunted was also like a 2-star book for me because it wasn't quite there. I gave 4 stars to Say You'll Remember Me, and I remember really enjoying and loving that book. And then we go back to a 2-star with Sign Here. Could it be that I'm just still not in the mood for it? No, because I'm actually interested in finding out what happens. And it's written pretty well for like a debut novel, but it's just too overly contrived, if I can find the word. So anyway, that is it for this Kindle reading blog, wherein I literally just talked about the books and not showing you anything anything else, but just me talking. Yeah. So I'll see you in the next video.